And we have started.
Oh, so
Mamma mia.
we just watched
Welcome
Sherlock Holmes.
No,
Pretty good.
No, we didn't.
Yeah,
Sherlock
welcome
Holmes.
back to what is this called again?
The
Bloopcast?
Movie
What
Goop podcast.
Actually,
Mo-
it's called.
movie-
It's actually called just the
Bloopcast, right?
I
Yeah.
thought.
Okay, the Bloopcast.
Technically, it's
So,
just on
welcome-
the channel Zabloop. It's not even
Fair
called.
point.
Whatever. Fucking.
Welcome to the
Aw.
Bloopcast.
So we did
we
not
just came
watch
off the-
Sherlock Holmes. We saw Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows.
Yeah,
Which is the
I didn't get to
second Sherlock
finish.
Holmes movie
It is
with Robert Downey
because
Jr.
it came out in 2011, starring Robert Downey Jr., a couple other people, mostly Robert Downey Jr.
Jude Law.
Jude Law's in it, yeah.
He's in
oh,
it.
Jude-
Sorry.
yeah.
Watson.
Jude Law is in it. Yeah,
He's out of control.
fair
boys.
point. And
Anyway.
Steven has not dropped the accent since.
Yeah,
I've been doing my best. It's so hard.
But no.
If
so
anyone
it
that
was,
says that's messed up or racist, he is Scottish. He can do this.
That's true. I've got
he's
the
making
right.
fun of. He's got the right to make fun of the English because he's Scottish and has been
That's
abused by them for hundreds of years. What?
Exactly.
Anyway.
Okay.
Nathaniel, say hi
Anyway,
real quick, dog.
Well,
Okay, that's good enough. We're done,
So-
right?
So
Yep.
I am
Goodbye.
Brian,
No, I'm joking.
aka fight me.
Sweet.
We don't got it. They know.
Yeah.
So
So,
we-
it was my birthday.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's all.
So Brian picked this movie because it was his birthday movie.
I picked it more for different reasons.
Tell us
Mostly
why.
because.
oh,
Why?
so fucking E.
So here's what happens. Last semester, I discovered the first Sherlock Holmes on Netflix. So I watched it, figured out the second one isn't there, but I eventually got around to watching that too. And since then and the beginning of the summer, I fell into a rabbit hole of YouTube videos analyzing A Game of Shadows because of the amazing, or in my opinion, amazing cinematography. Like the fast-paced kind of jumping around and stuff like that, the fight scenes and stuff like that, and such. So I fell into a whole rabbit hole and decided back then that I wanted to watch this movie again, but make sure that you guys also watch it with me, whether or not you liked it or not. So that being said, we can just go down the line and see, because obviously I love this movie. See what everybody thought of the movie.
Who's first in line?
Sure, you.
Oh, perfect.
I like this movie a lot. It was way more action-packed than I thought it was gonna be, to be honest. Because when I think Sherlock Holmes, I think like more so like the games, because the games aren't action-packed; they're more so about solving the mystery. Which this obviously was about solving the mystery, and it was really really cool the way they did it. Because I liked seeing their thought process and all that. But the action scenes, I actually don't think they took away from the movie. I thought they were really cool. Like specifically, when they were in Germany and they were in the woods, I was like trying so hard not to unmute and say, guys, I fucking loved that scene because I thought it was so cool and I thought it was shot so well.
Mhm.
But yeah, I loved this movie. I actually was I was pleasantly surprised. I liked it a lot. Thought it was a very good time.
Yeah, that scene is actually something I want to come back to later.
Yeah.
But what about you, Steven?
I thought we're going in line.
No,
You
fuck
are
it.
in line to me. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Who's in where? I don't know.
Oh,
It
So
doesn't
we go.
matter.
looking
It
at-
doesn't matter.
Okay. Anyway,
On my screen, Steven's first in line.
I have seen this movie before. It was a long time ago. I didn't remember it. And then I actually watched the first Sherlock Holmes like within the last few months. But I didn't watch this one because it's not on Netflix. And watching it now, it was all right. It was fine. I didn't like it that much, but I didn't like dislike it. It just like existed to me. Like it was fun and it was like a fun time and there were like nice things about it. But I don't know. I left it like not taking anything away from it really. Like it was just like a fun romp for like 2 hours and then I don't know. Like next week I won't think about it at all, which is not like a problem, but it's just a fun movie for me. It wasn't like I don't know, something that I enjoyed as much as Brian or Michael did.
You also have bad taste, but anyway, next. I'm
Sure.
joking, I'm
Or-
joking,
I
I'm
mean, you made us
joking, I'm
watch The
joking.
Godfather. Was that him?
Yes.
That
Yeah, that
was
was
me. I did make you.
Forced us because my Willie tied me down. It was a whole scene, dude.
Anyway, no,
Shit,
I get
man.
that. It was I agree. I don't know. It wasn't like amazing,
concur.
but it was a good time. Yeah.
Or wait, no, I don't concur.
Nathaniel.
I nodded off like once during it.
Did you actually?
No, I loved it. It was I loved it. It was really good. I loved it. Like I said, the whole film. It's just a roller coaster. Just have fun.
Yeah, it's just a good time.
It's not a Godfather where you can it's deeper. It's just have fun. You're watching. It's a Sherlock Holmes adventure. Sit down and have a blast. I liked it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Jose.
I'm kind of similar to Steven. It was fun.
I knew that you two would think this, so I'm not surprised.
The movie buff.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised you two on this side. This is just how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
I liked how, because I watched the movie like in 2012 when I was like fucking 13. So I thought it was interesting, like the feeling that I have as I'm watching it, because I was like, I don't know if this makes sense. I don't know if you ever watched like The Scorpion King with Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and you're like, okay, any movie that you watched when you were 13 or younger, and you rewatch it, and if you can like feel how that movie is from a different time period, like
Yeah.
that movie, like they don't make movies like that anymore in terms like of the style.
Yeah.
So I thought it was like an interesting feeling to watch it, and I was like, huh, this is like 2011, you know, this is like a movie that I was watching like when I was 13. And also, Robert Downey Jr. does not act in this movie. This is not acting, this is just Robert Downey Jr. And I love that. I'm like, he is playing himself in Iron Man. He's playing himself in this movie. He is just like that type of character, and I love let me see, RDJ, I guess is his
RDJ,
actor.
yeah.
Yeah, RDJ.
I freaking love him. So I thought it was enjoyable. I like his dynamic with Watson, even though I don't think I remember who the actor is.
Jude Law.
Watson?
Jude Law.
Yeah. I
Nope.
love the two of them. I think I buy it. I buy the relationship.
I like their dynamic
have
a lot,
read. Yeah, I like the energy.
Mhm.
I've read many like Sherlock Holmes books, so I thought it was interesting that again we get a Robert Downey Jr. version of Sherlock Holmes, which is like way more actiony, way more like, what is this thriller energy? You know, it's like there's a mystery in solving stuff, but it's just mostly just like the RDJ version of Sherlock Holmes, which I like.
By the way, if you guys heard a keyboard in the background while Jose was talking, he's definitely playing Final Fantasy 14 right now.
Dude, do not expose me.
They can hear your keyboard. We could hear your keyboard while you were talking.
All right, so I'm gonna distance this.
Interesting. Interesting stuff.
Listening.
Yeah. Okay, so the reason I chose this movie, the reason I love this movie is not for the characters, because I've been a Sherlock buff before, where I've enjoyed a lot of the different things, and I have I don't know. I watched like up to season 3 of the series that was on BBC or whatever
That had
it's.
Cumberbatch,
I don't know.
right?
Yeah.
Sherlock.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Yep.
Oh yeah, with that.
Yeah, that's really good too. Not as actiony as this one,
never seen
but
it either.
it was close. But the reason I really like this one is actually the same reason that Michael like the forest scene is just the cinematography of it, the way they tried to put kind of like this fast-paced Sherlock-esque intelligence into the cinematography itself, like the use of slow-mo, obviously 2011 kind of thing. But the use of that and the way they kind of like panned around and stuff actually has like a whole, like I said earlier, a whole part in the YouTube community or a whole, just like a bunch of videos you can go watch, like the cinematography and like breaking down like the story behind it and how they wanted to kind of show the intelligence in the fights and kind of like show like just I don't know, yeah, pretty much that. It's really cool, especially the forest scene is one that I absolutely loved. Funny enough, I've never seen Winter Soldier, but when you guys were describing the forest scene, that's actually the Sherlock Holmes scene. There was the one I was picturing. Is very similar. Snowy forest they're running. I actually don't know what goes on other than that. I never saw the Winter Soldier, but apparently they have a forest.
I've seen it once. I don't remember it.
I don't remember it either.
Yeah, forgettable.
It's
But-
funny. that
was
when
for me.
you said we were gonna watch this movie, that scene was the first and only thing that I thought of when like when
Mm.
you were like Sherlock Holmes too. I'm like, I remember there being a really cool like forest scene that I remember, but that was like
Yeah,
kind of it.
that's the biggest scene in this. Like, there's other scenes that are cool and all, but that one, uh, that scene itself has like a whole like movie kind of playlist, I guess, on YouTube that I watched over the summer. That just like broke down the scene and the cinematography specifically in that scene. Yeah, and then just kind of like I've really enjoyed the way they had things at the beginning. Obviously, things that were kind of out of their time, like the uh, what was it called, motorized wagon, I guess, and the adrenaline. Whereas like they showed him pulling it from the adrenal glands of a sheep. Uh, or they didn't show it, but that's what he introduced it
They
as.
talked
And
about it, yeah.
yeah, and the cool part about this movie, is that the more you watch it, the more you build on it, and you see things that because you can now predict it, right? And that requires going back and watching it again. But I do highly suggest you go back and watch it a couple times, just because I guarantee you miss things on this watch, that what you would see later, and you'd see like now that you can kind of predict which way the movie is going, you can see those things kind of like spark to life, or like the way Watson and Sherlock look at each other when they see the twins fall over. It's no longer something that's unexpected. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
So that's the main reason I picked it.
Oh, good
Oh,
pick. I enjoyed it a lot.
I had
yeah,
a good
I
time.
knew you'd
Great
enjoy it, Nathaniel.
Yeah,
pick.
I had a good time. I think, yeah, I was gonna say, I think me and Nathaniel enjoying this movie was extremely predictable, just because
Mm,
you guys
yeah,
know
and
Nathaniel.
I
Nathaniel, I
didn't
just
think.
like to have a good time, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I don't know about Jose. I
No,
wasn't really like trying
I
to
knew that Jose and
predict.
Steven weren't gonna feel any sort of
I
way
knew
towards it.
Steven. I knew Steven
It's not a big deal. It's
wouldn't
just
really enjoy it.
just like we've
Enjoy
watched
it, dude.
movies we've watched movies together for like a long time now, so like we just know how each other are.
Hmm.
It's not a
Yeah.
bad thing.
The
Look,
this movie didn't really have any like standout ish like I'm not gonna say like social dilemma, but kind of social dilemma. It didn't really have anything about that. It was mostly like, oh, okay, introduced at the beginning. We know who Sherlock is. We know who Moriarty is. We know that Moriarty is the like actual the psychopathic version of Sherlock, and that Sherlock has made it his personal goal to stop him because he's the only one who can, kind of thing.
Hmm.
yeah,
And there's no, it's all just like a fictional drive, I guess.
they did well building up Moriarty. They did really well building his character up because throughout the whole movie, I mean, Sherlock Holmes is practically unstoppable in the beginning. He
Hmm.
knows everything, he sees everything, and then when like Moriarty comes in, which I did love the shot when you first introduce him, when it's like you just see his hands and he's talking to the girl. I'm like, all right, that's a pretty cool shot.
Yeah.
Like reminiscent of like a Godfather-esque thing,
Hmm.
where you don't see him, but you know this guy has power. To the point where he taps on the glass in like a John Wick scene, everybody around them stops and like walks away. Like, all right, this guy has power. I thought they built him up real nice of how like during the movie at points you're like, man, he outsmarted Sherlock Holmes, and you're like, so they did really good at building up a rival for Sherlock. That's what I'm trying to say. A rival,
Hmm.
not
Yeah.
someone that Sherlock's gonna be like, oh, I know this. This is simple. Your plans were foiled. No, like Moriarty like put him to the test, which is really nice.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I didn't.
I got a lot of stuff to ramble off, so if you guys want me, I can keep
Dog,
going.
go ahead. Here's
Well,
the thing is I don't want to ramble off because I guarantee you I have more stuff to ramble off.
I
Oh
don't know.
boy.
I mean, I don't have like much, just because, like you said, like this movie isn't like deep in the way
Hmm.
of you're supposed to take
Like
something out of it.
social
Yeah,
analyzation, yeah.
like it's not deep in that sort of way. It's just
Hmm.
deep in the narrative, where like
It very
it's very much like in its own world. So
Yeah,
like it doesn't you don't watch that movie and take something out of it to apply to your like to your or to think about in like your everyday life. It's just not that kind of movie. It's not supposed to be that kind of movie.
yeah.
You know what I
So
mean?
I would relate it to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I've never seen it.
And the reason I say that is because obviously Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was the same kind of uh thing, I'm gonna say,
Like a
in
period
where
piece.
well, sort of. Because honestly, this was a period piece. This was late 1800s. But if
1891
you,
specifically.
yeah, if you look at it, if you go back to like look at that era, some of the things don't necessarily line up, like adrenaline, stuff like that. And I think that's why they introduced like different aspects that like Sherlock was like on the cutting edge, but he was just experimenting it on his own kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or like messing around with certain things. But the big thing I'm talking about is it's a masterpiece to cinematography in which you can kind of, first off, it appeals to the common man. Maybe that's not so much Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but what I would say, and related to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, is that if you understand the background and how people play around with cinematography, how the directors decide to make certain choices, because everything in this film is a conscious choice, right? Most things in films are conscious choices. They kind of they're jerking off their buddies in Hollywood. Their fellow cinematographers, or whatever they're called, cinematography guys, like directors and whatnot. Just because there's like certain things, like I said, the way they shot um the wood scene, or the way they had Sherlock react to the death of the one chick that he actually had like feelings for, in which they introduced in the first one, but she died at the beginning, so it wasn't like a really big like, oh, gotta take away this, this, and this. That's why I said going into this movie you can kind of skip
Okay.
the beginning, but really it's all about like just breaking down how they decide to shoot scenes, like, and how they have different characters react, like how Sherlock is kind of reacting to his basically only friend and best friend kind of getting married and going off to live his own thing, and he constantly brings that up at the bachelor party, he brings that up on the boat, he brings it up a couple other times throughout the film, kind of like showing that he doesn't put his emotions like forward, but he'll show it in like little hints and little like witty comments. And I also just love British humor. I love it, dude. It's awesome. But yeah, go ahead, Nathaniel, take the spotlight because
Because
I'm
that was
rambling.
great. That's great chemistry. Rob Downey
Mm.
Jr., Jude Law, perfect chemistry. Those they really did good. I was like, yeah, this is Sherlock and
Yeah, I loved their chemistry.
Law.
Yeah.
But one thing I could add about this film is like the biggest movie I could like. I was like, man, this is just like Pirates of the Caribbean. It's an it's an animated take because the movie's animated. This is just like an animated Sherlock Holmes movie. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not a pretty 1800s Jack the Ripper slide. Nah, this is like an animated Sherlock Holmes is climbing on a train. He's jumping off a bridge. You know, it's like it's just a fun action packed. And I was like, man, even the score, like the music, I was like, I'm waiting for the dun 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 dun. Dun, you know, I'm waiting for it. I was like, it's so similar.
Yeah, I
to
was gonna say I literally like. So I didn't watch the first one. This is the only Sherlock Holmes movie I've ever seen.
Dang.
First one's not as good.
I've heard from you. But I was gonna say I actually like in the very beginning of the movie I was fucking shocked because it like started with like a fight scene with Sherlock, and I was like,
Mm.
since when the fuck could he do this? I'm like, he's beating the shit out of these dudes. What the fuck? I was like,
Yeah, that's something
that
they introduced
it
in the
kind of
first one too. Yeah.
it kind of like it kind of set the mood for the movie. I was like, oh, okay, I get what kind of movie this is now. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Go ahead, Nathaniel.
Uh,
Oh yeah, that was one thing I could add is for me, for example, like murder mysteries. When you watch a murder mystery, right? You love the reveal. You love when the detective, may it be LeBlanc or Holmes itself, discover everything. I like that. So that's that's one element I loved about the movie. The whole movie was finding clues and pieces, which I'm probably gonna rewatch this movie so I can see the clues and pieces in the background until you can discover who the actual bad guy is. I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
Even more interesting though, I do like how it's instead of a murder mystery, more Moriarty's the bad guy. It's more like how is he going to catch him in this whole scene
Yeah,
where
the
Sherlock
movie's about
Holmes
how.
exactly how, and when Sherlock Holmes reveals, like he realizes he lost and he's underneath the stage and he takes the chess piece and Moriarty's like looking at him. I'm like, dude, Moriarty's like just nutting, like, oh, I got him.
Oh yeah, you can see it in his face, dude.
He's like, oh, I love this play and I love getting you. Oh,
Yeah, no, I think that right there was a little, going back and looking at that scene itself, is more of like it's Sherlock's mistake, but the fact that Moriarty predicted that mistake, it just kind of like bodes itself well to Moriarty's intelligence.
It's like wrestling. You built him up. You just build Mori up as this
Exactly. Yeah.
foe.
There's so much buildup. It's like he kills people without having to lay a finger on them or leaving a trace because he's too good to leave evidence or loose ends, stuff like that. And I thought that was really cool. It's like it's revealed the doctor at the beginning that Sherlock was trying to save. The reason he didn't really listen to Sherlock was because he had his own skeletons in the closet, revealing that he later worked with Moriarty, but then was killed by him. Like later down the line, there's a lot of like different like layers, I guess.
Now I'm curious, Steven,
Mhm.
Jose, I'll put you on the spot, but do y'all got anything you want to say? Maybe agree.
Kinda. I thought it was interesting that you brought up the Parts of the Caribbean movie because I think that's pretty fitting.
Mhm.
Yeah, it does.
Because I don't really think that this is in any way a mystery movie. I think that it's almost entirely an action adventure movie, which is like fine. Like it's not problematic. I just don't think that there's like a sense of mystery. Like the characters have a mystery and they go through lengths to like find it, but you as the viewer aren't put in a position where you can like oh, he's building like an arms factory and he's like starting a world war. Like you get like bits and pieces of like, oh, the book and the plant, oh, his plant kind of sucks. Like I thought, he's like a smart guy. Is the book right there for like what's happening? Like, oh, that's like a way that he kept like his secrets, but it doesn't like let you solve the mystery,
Oh,
which isn't like a problem, but I just don't see
yeah.
this as like a mystery movie.
Me
No, I
neither. I
agree.
talk more like
Yeah.
how when you watch a murder mystery, like say LeBlanc, and he's like breaking down why he knows he did. That's what I mean. It's not a mystery. This movie's like I said, Moriarty's the bad guy. There's no mystery behind it. It's I enjoy how Holmes breaks down the layers. For example, he's like, why do you have a book about like a plant and you don't even feed your plant? It's like that. When murder mysteries do that, when a detective breaks down evidence, I want to see that. I enjoy the evidence building. So like you have a plant, you don't take care of your plants at all. That's suspicious.
I very much liked that that climax. I thought it was a good.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good time.
And not to interrupt you, sorry.
Playing
Yeah,
a chess
you're
game
fine.
at the end.
Nathaniel, do you like the show Psych?
Psych? No, Corey does. I know that.
I'm like, they do that like every episode.
Really? No.
Yeah, because the dude has like visions, and he's like, I finally have got the pieces together, and then, yeah. Bet you love that.
Yeah. Also, another thing I really liked about the movie. Yeah, it's me. Another thing I really
You're allowed to like movies.
yeah.
It's fine.
Here's the thing: is I have sat down and like watched multiple hours worth of videos and like analyzing just this
Analyzation.
movie. Analyzation, the infamous. Just another big thing I didn't notice is how well subtitles has helped me understand what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I
obviously,
use subtitles on every movie I watch, every game I play.
I would actually. So I would say that if we're gonna go back and ever rewatch this movie, I'd take subtitles off because it's an experience. You may not get as much out of it, but it's an experience. Just kind of like, at least it was for me, kind of like listening to them and kind of almost translating it because they talk so fast and they're talking in accent. So I'm a little slower on like the catch up. It's just like I didn't realize that Moriarty was threatening Sherlock in his when he was talking to him and he was like talking about Holmes. I didn't realize he was threatening Watson and his wife when he was talking to him when he discovered the book and the plants. I didn't realize that was a threat until like my second watch. This has been like my fourth time watching this film. So
Just this year?
second time this year. This is the fourth
Oh.
time. I saw it when it first came out in 2011. No, I saw it in 2012.
And Steven, you said you were making a point too. I'm sorry to interrupt
No, I
you.
was kind of done with that point. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to just like. Anyway,
If you got disagreements, go ahead and talk them to him, man.
No, there's no problem with
it's
disagreeing.
not even that. It's just like everything that I have to say is like, never mind. I'll just say it.
It's not really a contribution at all.
Yeah. I thought the music was, or I guess this might like sum up my whole thoughts on the movie. Where like at the beginning it's like kind of fun and intriguing, and then throughout like towards the end I got like less and less invested. Like the music, which is what I was gonna say right before this was like, oh, it's like there's like a fiddle like in the when they're in the like bar for his party. Like that's cool. That's fun like sound. But then through the rest of it, it's just the like bum 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 bum, bum, like the whole movie, and it's
Mhm.
like the same, which is like fine, but like I don't know. The whole movie for me was like that, where it was like just the same, but it kept going. And I found that I think that the first movie is at least like novel, like it is itself. But I just find this movie to be like just the first movie, but with higher stakes in different locations, which is like cool when you get like a forest shot when like you're in a really cool location and there's like things happening and it's exciting. But then I don't know. The rest of it to me just found like, okay, we're just doing this again, but outside of London this time. Um, I there were only like a handful of characters who like I kind of cared about. Watson and um
Miss
Sherlock.
Watson.
Jesus.
Oh wait, no,
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 no.
no.
Yeah, like their dynamic is obviously fun. Um, I guess Mycroft, he was kind of fun, but then like I don't know, I kind of wasn't invested or cared about anybody else in this whole movie. And then
I don't
I
think
don't
there's
know.
anybody to really like. Anybody
Sure.
else was really like front and center. I mean, there was the
Sure.
girl and her brother,
I
but
I liked her. I liked Suzma.
she was hot.
I meant I liked her character, but yes, she was hot.
I enjoy
Um,
Sherlock's brother, the interactions with that. What were you saying, Steve?
sure.
Minecraft.
Um, I don't know. I found the like
Since
the stakes of the movie are like the only thing is like, oh, the world's gonna be at war, and not like, oh, Sherlock's gonna die. Sherlock's not gonna die. Like, oh, Watson's gonna die. Like, he might die, but he's probably not gonna die. So like, I don't know. At no point when they were like in danger was I like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? I'm just like, all right, we're watching a cool little action scene. I'll see what happens. And so like, I don't know. I wasn't like it like took me out of it to watch them like get in a gunfight for the 17th time where there's like stakes but there's really not stakes because they have to get to the ending so that there can be like a reveal or whatever. um
hmm,
I don't know, like I said, I just I didn't like it as much because I have seen the first one and I just feel like it's like been done before. It doesn't make it like bad, it just makes it like not new, so it makes me like not like it as much. But
Nice.
yeah,
I was gonna
I think.
say,
Hmm?
just real quick, in terms of investment, it's funny because I was the opposite. Where in the beginning of the movie I was bored and I didn't care, but towards the
Hmm.
end of the movie I was invested. I was like
Hmm.
literally the opposite in terms of investment.
Hmm.
Because the beginning of the movie I thought was really boring and I was
Hmm.
not interested because I saw there's literally three fight scenes in the
Yeah.
beginning of the movie and I thought it was too much.
Hmm.
Um, but towards the end of the movie I thought they spaced them out better and I was more invested in the story towards the end than I was in the beginning.
hmm.
I don't know if that comes from me having seen the first movie, and so then it like leads in, and like it's kind of like I'm picking right back up where I left off. I'm like, oh, I know this guy and like what he's doing and like his like methodology and what to look for.
Uh-huh.
Um, so
I
I
can definitely see that.
that like got me invested, but then later on I got like worn out from
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. So a big thing about the first movie is if you haven't seen the first movie, I don't know why you probably shouldn't watch these things out of order.
I
Also,
haven't
the first
watched the
movie is
first
readily
movie
available.
because you made me watch the second one first.
Yeah, yes, because the second one's better.
Yeah, like you made me
But
watch the second one first, so I haven't seen the first.
that being said, the second one has next to no mystery. The more mystery is, or the mystery is more of how is Sherlock going to stop Moriarty. It's more about the rivalry and how what Sherlock's going to do because Moriarty always seems to be a step ahead of him. I would say that would be the mystery of the second one. The first one actually has a legitimate mystery with a guy who like comes back to life, and they're trying to figure out how he does this, and he's like doing all these like black magic things and stuff like that. And they're like, well, how is he doing these things without actually being connected without saying that magic is real? So the first one definitely had a lot more mystery, but did not have the same like just amount of amazing cinematic moments. I would say.
I,
Um,
I definitely agree. The first movie like had like a lower budget and quality because of it,
hmm,
and like it looks like you're on a set that's supposed to look like old London. And in this movie, it doesn't look like that at all. That's definitely
yeah.
one place that they really improved is like in the design of the sets and the characters and
Hmm.
stuff.
And the way, especially the way they shot things, I think, anyways.
Um, I I agree like to an extent. Um, like I don't know. To me, like the fight scenes where they're like shaking the camera around, again, that takes me back to the fact that I didn't feel like there was any risk for like Sherlock or anybody. So
Mhm.
like the camera shake and like the way that it moved kind of always felt like artificial to me. Like you're shaking the camera to make me feel like he's in trouble, but he's not. He's gonna have a confrontation with him at the end where they play. Or I didn't even know. Well, I didn't remember the movie, so I don't know they were gonna play chess. But like, there has to be like an end game where it's like, "Aha, I've got you," and it's like, "No, but I've got you." It's like, "Well, actually, I've got you," and then
Okay.
so I don't know. I didn't as cool as I thought parts of like the action scenes were cool. The general like idea of shaking the camera to make you feel disoriented so that there's like a sense of like fluidity and like danger to it, that itself, I don't know. I didn't
Shaky
find
cam. Shaky cam is tough.
a little bit. I like it's like there are good like times to use it. Like if you're in a fight scene and you want like punches to feel like they hit, like sure. But I just feel like there were a lot of times where it was meant to like show like danger or like um
Hmm.
I don't know.
This is the same era that came out with Hunger Games, so it was the era of the shaky cam being tested and
Yeah,
tried.
I don't know. Yes, sure.
So
I don't remember
I
that
I,
movie very
I
much
can.
either.
There was a lot of. I remember there being a lot of shaky cam in the fight scene, so I had no clue what was going on.
Hmm.
That's my take on Hunger Games, but
Yeah.
I haven't
Um.
seen it in years.
Yeah.
The movies are
But yeah.
overrated.
What about you, Jose? You have
Um, I mean, Steven's good. Steven's covered.
Oh,
I
that's good.
have little contribute except Sherlock and Robert Downey Jr. My man's.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, his like swagger and charisma. Like he could kind of just be like in anything. Well, he's in the new Doolittle, so maybe not like anything.
Not anything.
But
Anything.
I mean,
you
I'm
put
sure
him in
he was still likable in that movie, even if the movie wasn't good. I haven't seen it, so
maybe,
I
Right.
don't know.
maybe,
But
yeah.
Hmm.
I
I know
don't know.
they're coming out with a new Sherlock in
They are,
2021.
they are.
They've been working on it. Because after doing all like the cinematic stunts and like if you go through
wait,
and like break down the different things he finds.
a new RDJ.
Yeah, a new
Sherlock?
RDJ. Yeah, so his
Oh, I
wife is
remember.
actually one of
He's
the
it was on his
directors.
Twitter. That's right. He had a Twitter
Yeah.
Yeah.
poll in Sherlock One. I remember.
They're trying to expand the universe, not
Mhm.
dissimilar to the MCU,
Mhm.
but not necessarily a copy, but also kind of a copy.
Exact
I
same
mean,
thing, bro.
Sherlock Holmes, so it's
Dude,
not necessarily a
idea.
copy, but kind of.
Idea. The Invisible
Sherlock
Man,
Holmes came first.
Sherlock Holmes, baby. That'd be amazing.
No, dude, he goes to a castle and then you like look at a sign and it says property of Dr. Jekyll and you're like, dude.
Oh gosh, yes, they're gonna tie it into the Dark Universe.
Why don't they just have
That,
him like officially verse Arsene Lupin for once? Like finally,
see,
'cause
I
that'd
was
be
gonna say
dope.
that's another big one.
Like that would actually be cool.
Wait, who does he have to fight?
If he actually versed Arsene Lupin, the gentleman thief.
Oh, Lupin the
Oh
Like
Third.
that'd
yeah.
be
That's
dope. Well, no, not Lupin the Third. Lupin the
yes.
Third is supposed to be Arsene Lupin's grandkid, like the actual Arsene Lupin.
Oh, really? I didn't know that that was a thing. My
It
bad.
it was a thing. Yeah.
I
Arsene
thought that was
Lupin.
source material.
No, Arsene Lupin was written at the same time as Sherlock Holmes, and
Hmm.
actually the dude who wrote Arsene Lupin put Sherlock Holmes, like literally made a book series where Arsene Lupin and Sherlock Holmes were versing, got hit with copyright, so he changed the name from Sherlock Holmes to
To
Herlock
Sherlock
Sholmes.
Sholmes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so
Arsene
this
Lupin
has actually
contre
happened.
Sherlock
And
Sholmes.
so if there was like if they put that into cinema, I think that would be super cool. And also Arsene Lupin doesn't get enough love. Like he's fucking dope. And
Yeah.
no one
Nobody
fucking knows him.
nobody
Everyone
freaking
knows
remembers.
Sherlock though.
I mean, everybody knows Lupin the Third, maybe.
Well,
But
Not everybody.
weebs know Lupin the Third.
okay, yeah, I was gonna
Speaking
say
of,
if you know anime.
There's a new Lupin the Third movie coming out, or it's already out, but it's coming to like G Kids soon, and I really want to see it because it
Is that
actually
the
looks pretty
3D
Ah,
good.
one?
Yeah, yeah, it is a 3D one.
I saw a scene from it. It
It
looks
actually
cool.
looks pretty good though.
Hmm.
Even though I don't like 3D animation, I think it looks good.
Interesting.
I should
With all
say
that being,
anime, 3D adapted anime. I don't like.
But yeah,
hmm,
so they've been working on the third one for several years now. The problem is that they could never write a script that seemed to kind of because obviously with every mesh, and then also kind of like blow the second one out of the park, because the second one there's a lot of like different like breakdowns and things that you didn't see was going to happen. Of course, there's no real stakes, but I don't think that's where the mystery lies, and where the kind of drive to watch the movie.
I think it'd be really cool
Is
if the next one was very mystery oriented. That'd be dope.
that would be really cool. I don't know how they would do it though, because
Well,
in
I'm
this
not a
one
movie maker.
you're not looking through Sherlock's eyes per se. You're looking at Sherlock and seeing what his reaction is going to be. Um,
I,
you could say
I,
almost through the eyes of Watson.
I think another big reason why it kind of almost can't be a mystery is just because of like the scale of it, where they go all over Europe. Like
Yeah.
Hmm.
in the first one,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
agree with
even think
that.
the first one is like a straight mystery, but there are like these elements of like you're in the same city, these like same locations you go back through, and then there's like
Going back to
patterns
all
and
these
stuff.
other ones. Oh, hey, back down to the dockyard or whatever.
Sure,
Finding
sure.
this guy's kind of laboratory or whatever, and seeing how he hooked up. Yeah, the first one definitely has more mystery, but I guess I could agree with you on that one. This is more for like the common man who does not sit down and analyze movies, but instead likes to be surprised. I would
It,
say.
I would also say once you throw in Moriarty, there's no such thing as mystery. You come for a chess game. You come for their game. You come
Fair
for the
point.
you
Yeah.
come like Moriarty said, the fish and the fisherman. You come. You don't go to Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty and be like, all right, time to figure out what's. And you're like, okay, let's see how they topple each
Yeah,
other. Let's see these
simply
minds.
due to them posing Moriarty as the villain, it kind of had to not be a
Yeah.
mystery.
Yeah, because they knew he was the villain
Yeah.
at the end. They weren't trying to like show that he was the villain per se. They were trying to stop his plans. So
Yeah.
you can say that honestly, it wasn't really a mystery. It's all about the chess game, which I think they did
Oh,
phenomenally.
they did.
Even at the end, when they were just like standing and looking at each other, and these two like mega intelligent like just characters, just like tossing around, just like, oh, rook to bane 3, or rook takes pawn 4. I'm like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, I have no clue what that means, but you know what? I know what he's saying. He's saying I just moved to counter your move or whatever, and they're like the different things.
I'm s-
Also, if you think about that last fight, you know how like Sherlock and Moriarty had like the whole thing, like the whole like little, oh hey, I can
imagine.
do this, where you're not the only one who can fight in this like slow mo version or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Neither of them, if you watch that, that would have taken probably like 3 to maybe like 5 or more seconds, I would say, maybe 10 seconds, to kind of let that whole thing like hash out. And as soon as he was like, I'm changing this up, he grabbed Moriarty and went to go push off the cliff. Watson opened the door. Neither of them thought Watson would open the door. I thought that was a really cool thing. Is like Watson is almost, he's underappreciated by both the villain and the protagonist. Like even throughout the movie, he kind of like, he has Sherlock's back, but Sherlock doesn't, I'm gonna say, expect as much of him, because like, he kind of has his own ego. Same with Mycroft, whereas like Mycroft at the beginning was just like, you didn't at the beginning they hinted towards Watson being more of a prominent, like, hey, I have to do this, and they keep looking down on it. Mycroft at the beginning was like, uh,
You're a lot than.
you're not as smooth brain as Sherlock made you out to be, or Shirley. And then later, Moriarty is like, oh, that bishop of yours was actually more useful than I thought. And then at the end, right before he pushes off, freaking Sherlock meets eye to eye with Watson, like sees them, and then he's just like, didn't expect that. Okay, and then he just kicks himself off the cliff. Which, I mean, it kind of makes it the best move, anyways, because Moriarty was gonna kill Watson, because he was like, oh, I'm gonna kill him, make it creative, whatever. I'm kind of like analyzing it. Sorry, but I just thought that was really cool. That they threw out just like Watson's kind of, not necessarily character development, but I'm gonna call it useful curve. How useful, quote unquote, he was against these kind of like mega Chad, super intelligent guys. Um, Whereas he's just a normal
Duck.
kind of human. Yeah. I also thought it was cool that the sniper in him. So if you look at both sides, they basically laid it out like a chessboard. where I guess they are the queen. I would assume they're not necessarily the king; they're the queen because they have the most moves. They can do stuff that other people can't. Moriarty and Sherlock, and then they were referring to both having bishops, two bishops, and the one set of bishops were the gypsy woman and her brother, which have a relationship, like a brother to sister relationship. And then the other one was Watson and the sniper guy, both of whom served in Afghanistan and were both from the military and very good, like with guns and such. Like Watson turned and shot the guy, and then he kind of like returned and shooting another guy. He killed a couple people, and then their whole Watson throughout the film was being compared to this sniper guy, where Watson and sniper guy are kind of like their own kind of rivals because they had the whole fight between like the sniper and the massive gun where he shot the freaking lighthouse and collapsed it on Sherlock and
The artillery
Moriarty.
gun.
The artillery gun, thank you. So it's like it's a whole secondary rivalry. I thought that was also really cool. So yeah,
I agree 100% with that. I enjoy how they treated those two, and I like how they also gave the sniper guy like he's the meanest shot. He was the meanest shot in like all the war, and that's all you really need for that character. Let your imagination fill out the most.
yeah, exactly. All you need to know is he was dishonorably discharged, which means his morals do not line up correctly, or he did something bad. And now he's just a gun for hire. He's just getting paid by Moriarty, who has a ton of money. He's literally just a hitman.
I have a question. What did y'all think of the small try to slide in social commentary Moriarty said Sherlock, you're not fighting me. You're fighting the human condition. Think about it. Humans are going to cause war regardless. What do you think of that smooth social?
I I huh. So I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know. I know you were asking Steven, but
No, I was asking everybody.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. I thought you were asking Steven.
I just had a
Why
question. I just had a question.
Hmm?
I just had a question to tackle it.
I don't know. Maybe it's because Steven normally covers more like human and social issues, or he kind of yeah. Steven, I know you're very like in touch with that type of stuff too.
That is typically what
Nice.
Steven talks about, yes.
Sure.
He's pretty good at it too, dude, I'll be honest.
Oh, nice. I found it like it was like a interesting point that like fit his character pretty well. You know, like a guy who like makes war, like that's how he would think about it. It's like this is just how things are. I'm just like gonna profit off of it. Like makes sense. But I thought it was pretty fitting to the character.
Because he even did that earlier, which I really did enjoy. He did that earlier when him and Sherlock first meet, and he sits on a chessboard. He's like, "Yeah, of course I'm going to get Watson." He was like, "That's a code." He's like, "That's like the rule. There will be casualties, so that's how I justify what I do. There's going to be casualties. Come on, you have to know that. That's like the rule of like two natural forces, or what he said, button heads.
Yeah,
there will be
heads.
So I like how I agree. I like how he justifies his reasoning to do these inhumane things.
I really like that. I also like the fact that freaking Sherlock was just drinking embalming fluid at the beginning. I was like, okay, formaldehyde or whatever it's called. I really enjoyed that about this iteration of Sherlock. Given I've seen multiple iterations of Sherlock's, one that are more like sociopathic, whereas like he's just out for it. He just wants kind of a little like little fun in his life. I'm gonna say. Something to drive him forward because he's so smart, nobody can match him, right? He doesn't care about what other people think about him. He just wants something to kind of bide his time and kind of challenge him. Whereas this Sherlock is more just like completely insane, and he's like a mad scientist, kind of in his own kind of world, I guess. Because at the beginning, when he's introduced, or in the movie, anyways, he is. Well, I mean, actually, at first he was stopping a crime or like a bomb. But then also his freaking apartment was filled with like poisonous fruits and goats, sheep, and whatever else was in there, birds. And he was just kind of like he was doing his own experimentation. So this is it's like a different version. It's like a Doctor Who, how there's different doctors and they act in very kind of similar but not similar ways, that their personality and mannerisms change a bit by each iteration. And that's kind of how I saw the Sherlock Holmes, where it's like he's more of like a different. Here's a good one for you, Nathaniel. Different Joker. There's a certain Joker that's completely just insane. He's just mad and he kills everybody. And there's a Joker who's more like like scheming and stuff like that, and then there's a Joker who's more of a gangster, stuff like that. So this is just a different iteration of Sherlock, who is more. I'm gonna call him mad scientist than he is like genius detective. And he's still genius detective. He's just more mad scientist.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
like Sparrow himself, Jack Sparrow. I find.
Oh, very much like Sparrow. I think they honestly they took a lot of pages out of the book of Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, which is partially maybe why I like it so much, because it's a fun ride. It's a
Yeah.
fun ride to hop on. It's entertainment. Um, and it certainly has entertained me. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Definitely. Good time.
Yeah, even though I didn't care for it that much, I'd still be like, I don't know, it didn't like I'm still willing to watch the next one. It's not like I'm never watching one of these again. It's like, it's not like a
It wasn't a bad movie. It just didn't add
Sure.
anything to the world per se, other than great cinematography.
I mean, I wouldn't even say that it didn't add anything. I just I didn't find anything that I could take away from it and like remember or enjoy like over like there were things that I could enjoy, but not anything that would like overall make me enjoy the film. It was just
Yeah.
kind of fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Hobbs and Shaw is something that's like you'll
Oh
think
my
about
fucking
decades.
Dude, no,
God.
dude, Hobbs and Shaw. Listen, like
You'll never
they
forget. 'cause
talk about the human condition.
We are
they
not talking
really
about that
dive deep.
movie. That is not this
Crypto-
episode. It
I
doesn't
think
matter.
that's how I think the Hobbs and Shaw discussion is how we know when to end the episode. I
It's-
think that's what it is.
Oh,
Aw,
no,
man.
honestly, it kind of feels like it.
Gary Busey versus Moriarty in chess. I want to see
Dude,
it.
I want to Gary Busey. Yes.
I don't know. Like literally, the only thing I have to talk about, it isn't even like a thing. It's just simply that, like, just to let you know, Sherlock Holmes does not use deductive reasoning. Just to let you know, he uses inductive reasoning.
Here we go.
Deduction is complete, because deductive reasoning is when you go in with a premise already, and then you like look at stuff. Inductive reasoning is what he does, because he doesn't go in like, okay, I know what's happened. He goes and he looks at everything and then makes a conclusion. Deductive reasoning is about having a conclusion first and then using the evidence
And
to
then
prove
deducing
that.
down to
To
it.
And
prove
that's
that,
why
yeah.
Batman's the best detective.
So just to
dude.
let you know, the Sherlock method that everyone says is the science of deduction, it is not. It's the science of induction. That's how
Get
logic
educated.
works. Get educated, people.
Get
Don't be a
educated. He's
sheep.
It helps.
Get educated.
Bah.
almost gonna give me
Also,
stuff like that.
Um, yeah, I don't know. That's literally like that's the only thing I had to say. But so are we going to discuss what horror movie we should watch next week?
Oh.
During the episode or after it? Because
I
we
think-
should
Can we
discuss
not
that
watch-
today. We should
Can
discuss
we
I
that
like
today.
during. I like during. I like
also
high
like
stakes.
during, but my problem is that I had an idea and the idea can't take place in the time here. My idea was
What
that
does
we
that mean?
create a
I
list.
know.
We create a list and we take all the movies from our list that are horror or thriller movies, we put them on a separate list, and then we do a randomization with that. But we don't have the time to do that.
But what if we just
in this
Google
podcast.
horror movie randomizer and let the fates decide?
What if we get Friday the 13th 7? What if we
Yeah, I
get
don't
that?
wanna watch
I
that.
don't,
I will
I
walk
don't
you-
want to watch that.
I will
wanna watch
walk
that.
you
Roll
through it.
again?
I'll walk you through it, dude.
How about we just don't watch
We just
Hereditary?
watch
Can we
again.
just not watch Hereditary?
Or how about
I
we
don't
Hereditary's
do,
a really good movie.
I don't want to pay for that.
we do
I don't want to watch Hereditary.
how about we do Steven's
Didn't you
idea?
just recommend it? What?
Hereditary's like more heavy than it is scary, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know what you mean by horror, because
How about
I mean,
we
there are
it is
okay,
scary
okay,
technically a
parts of it.
horror movie.
Nathaniel, what
There
is
are
it called?
scary
The
parts, but-
freaking it's in Scary Movie. I
How
forget what
about-
it's called.
how about we do Steven's idea before a bonus episode? I think that'd be pretty neat.
What? So do
Yeah.
that as a bonus episode, like right fucking now?
Yeah, dude, come on, dog.
Dude.
Wait,
We'll
we're gonna make a list.
Mhm.
Okay, so wait, we're gonna go onto the movie doc. We're
Yes.
gonna take all the movies that are horror or thriller and then
Pre-
put them on a new doc, and then
Mhm.
you want me to put that in the randomizer?
30-second
Yes,
video.
but that's gonna take more than 3 seconds. So I think we should just say that we're gonna watch a horror movie next time,
Well,
random.
if
or not
you
random,
do
but-
want that to be a horror episode, I can stop this episode right now, and then we start up a new one. They're looking at my Google Chrome, and we just go. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do that, Nathaniel sounded pretty hyped about it. I'm
Sure.
just
If you
saying
if
it's
you
a
want to if you want to pause it while we set it up and then come back and then we do the randomizer, we could do that actually.
Well, yeah, we literally just make it like a. Oh, oh, you mean like that?
Yeah, we could just add it to this episode because like
Oh.
a 5 minute
Oh
like,
yeah,
hey,
I
we're
guess
gonna
so.
watch this.
30-second video.
This has a pause button, right? I think it does. Okay, we'll see you guys in a bit. Goodbye. Alright, people, we're back. We finished the movie list. Here, I'm gonna put it up on my screen.
It only took us
so you can
34
see it.
hours. I
It
want
took
you to
us
know that
like
it is
half an
now.
hour.
It is now Thursday night.
They can see the
Uh,
clock in the bottom right. Actually, no, they can't. Never mind. Well, you
Oh,
guys don't know.
easy, dude.
It's the 24th.
Anyway, these are our
Um,
38 movies. Feel free to fucking read. I don't care. Read them. Anyway, fuck. Hold on. Give me one sec. Let me copy these. This is the website we use.
hmm.
Paste. We're still doing our voting, guys. Remember. All right.
Right.
You guys ready? Random
Yep.
choice.
Okay, throw
got-
it in
we
the
got-
Discord.
We got Poltergeist.
No.
Oh no,
Fuck that shit. Get it out.
no, that's 2 for no. I say
Um,
no.
I don't know. I
Jose, are
Not
you
this
actually
time.
saying no?
I
I'm
said
trying to have fun with this.
I said no.
I like how you recommended it too, weren't you? Or was that Nathaniel?
There's
Here's
nothing.
the thing.
It was me.
Because the thing is that like we also have different feelings on this. I want to watch an actual horror movie and not a Halloween movie personally. But I'm okay
Same.
with, I want to watch an actual horror movie. I don't want to watch a Halloween movie.
This
Hear
is
that, Jose? You're
this is
turning
horrible.
against us.
If you this
Turning
legit,
against us.
just recently, my English professor was like,
You're
Poltergeist.
Was
like,
I ever here? Was I ever with you?
I thought you were. We both
but-
said no. That's what I'm
But
talking
also,
about.
I have to pay for it if I want to watch it.
It's on Netflix.
Is
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Last
Probably on something.
I
I
don't-
don't know.
Well, I googled it and it says it's only on YouTube, but I can look later, I guess.
You guys on-
Last time I checked, it was on Netflix.
So wait, so it's 2
Hold
for
on,
yes and
first.
2 for no?
I don't know if I'm saying yes yet.
I don't
Yeah.
know what I'm saying at all.
I
So
mean,
this is
It's a classic horror. Many people say it's one of the scariest films.
Jesus,
Uh-huh.
loud.
Legit, my English,
Oh.
it was like, oh no, that's the scariest film I've seen in theaters. And I was like, dang.
Yes, fucking
Poltergeist is, yes, it's right
Poltergeist
here.
is in fact on Netflix.
God.
Yes, it is. And so is the
Bye-bye
boy.
Man. The bye-bye man.
The bye bye man.
Put that on there. Put that on there.
Anyway,
Shut up.
we already
Shut up,
made the
Kyle.
list. We can add more to the list later because we're gonna keep this list for next year.
Okay. Man, this is
Oh,
rough.
true. Yeah, I just remembered freaking
Nathaniel, what are
Insidious.
you thinking? What are you thinking?
I don't know. It's like such a classic, and I never seen it. And I think it'd be pretty interesting.
I think it would be interesting, but
Wait,
I'm
Steven,
gonna
you
put-
said-
a yes.
Aw.
Oh, tiebreaker, Nathaniel, tiebreaker. Do the one thing I've never been able to do.
I'm not saying yes
I'm
yet.
like,
I'm with Nathaniel.
Michael
I'm
still
not
has
saying
not
yes.
voted.
It's like I low key want to run.
Because I feel the same way as Nathaniel. Like I wanna say no, just because I know that you guys don't want to watch it. But also I want to say yes because you guys want to watch a Halloween movie and I don't. I want to watch a horror
Dude,
movie.
if I'm gonna be forced to watch a really, really scary horror
Huh?
movie, make me watch like The Conjuring or make me watch
I'm
Hereditary
literally-
or something like that.
I'm literally not voting on that basis, Michael. I just want you to know that. Like if I hear a movie and I think it'd be cool, then I'll watch it. Like we've already decided that we want a mix of both. So I'm just saying
Yeah,
which
I
one
know.
I think sounds cool.
I know.
Like
just-
if we have to
I'm just
watch
saying-
The Exorcist, I'm
yeah,
cool with that.
I'm
But I
just
don't want
saying,
to watch
like,
Poltergeist.
Yeah, I'm just saying like personally, like I don't know, like I want to watch. I feel like I want to watch more so of a horror movie, which is
So,
why I'm like okay with it. But I'm okay to watch a different one.
I'm also okay to watch a different one.
I'm like, The Conjuring
But-
2 wasn't a Halloween movie, but I threw that out there.
I think-
I'm very against watching specifically Poltergeist. I want listen if you're gonna force me to watch a freaking horror movie, make me watch like Hereditary or something.
This is the thing.
Why? This one's like old.
I don't see the
I
distinction.
don't.
I don't see the distinction either.
Listen,
Can we
if
not bring
I'm
other movies into it?
okay, fine. If I'm gonna get terrified, I don't want to be terrified at specifically Poltergeist
Why?
Why that?
because I just don't want to be. There's no other reason. There's no
Because
way I can
because
explain it.
I understand
conventionally.
I understand the way you feel, but the one that I don't want to watch is Hereditary. I don't want to watch that, but I would.
Okay.
I feel the same way, but about the opposite thing because I don't want to watch Hereditary at all.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna warn all of you. When it comes to the Halloween films, I'm gonna have iffy feelings because I'm looking for, kind of.
No, I'm looking for a feeling too. Can we just re-roll?
You know, Polk,
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no.
yeah, I'm gonna say no. I feel the
I'm
room.
literally looking for a movie I
That's
like.
okay.
All right, ready?
I'm okay with that. Yes.
We got
Fuck.
The Evil Dead, the first one.
I need to remember. Fuck, I need to remember which one the fuck this one is.
But I heard
It's the one with
Ash Williams.
Ash Williams, the dude with the chainsaw hand.
But he doesn't become Ash until the second one. That's what I heard. He's always like the first one. He's not like Ash.
Mm,
Well, yeah, because
Wait,
it's on. So it's
By the
on
way, how many
Netflix.
movies do you have on the list? Like
38.
38.
30.
I low-key want this man. I really
Actually,
want.
there's 38. There's 38.
Okay.
So I will start. Wait, hold on. Did anybody say anything yet?
Nope.
No.
No.
Okay, I'll start off. I'll say no.
Because I've heard, because Daniel watched. God damn it, hold on. Daniel watched The Evil Dead, and he was like, the first one's a horror movie, the rest are not.
Yeah.
Is the House of the Dead video games related to this in any
Not
way?
at all. Not in the
Okay.
slightest.
Wait, is that the zombie
That's the
shooter
zombie
game?
shooter, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Interesting.
Just needed to make sure.
Low-key just want to keep rolling. I don't know.
I feel like it's because
I don't
it's
put
because
that
there are
one.
very specific movies on this list that I want to watch.
I'll be honest. I'm kind of leaning for Dismissed or Slad. I'm not gonna lie.
I
to you.
love Dismissed. I want to watch I kind of want to watch a slasher, yeah, as well.
Thank-
Anyway, I'm gonna say no. I think that's 3 no's, right?
I
Yeah.
got very specific. Yeah, no.
By the way, guys, this is what happens every fucking time.
Yeah, let's go, dude.
We got dismissed.
Yes. That's a yes. Everyone say yes,
No.
please. Yes. Yes.
I want to hear what Jose and Steven have to
Except
say.
for Michael's already gonna say
For
yes.
what?
So
Dismissed.
Hang on.
so it's 2
Gosh,
yes, 1 no.
I wanted to actually Google. Fuck, I didn't realize it would actually come up.
I have no clue.
Someone
Yeah, no.
share their screen because I'm in a dungeon and I can't.
Don't.
Like,
It'll ruin the horror.
can someone? Yeah, thank you. I'm like literally saying anything in poster.
Wait, hold on. Wait, why would we want to watch this?
It's a horror. Trust me.
An
Ghost
optimistic
Rouse is in this
strange-
movie.
I
An
love it.
Yeah,
An optimistic,
Nathaniel and I unironically love this movie.
an optimistic straight edge teacher finds trouble when a star student is willing to do anything to get an A.
no.
The description's really bad, but I actually really like the movie.
It has Dylan. No, I refuse. I don't want to watch this. I know why I don't want to watch this. And I
Michael,
really don't want to watch this.
Nathaniel, they're
Michael.
gonna say no.
And I'll be honest, Michael.
It has a 5.7 out of
Okay,
10.
Nathaniel, I'll be honest. I want to watch this movie. I don't think I want to watch it for Halloween, but I do very
Well,
much want to watch this
I
movie
was
because I
gonna
love this
argue-
movie.
I was gonna
No.
argue the same thing. I don't think it fits Halloween.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna say no. So that's
No.
enough no's.
I say no.
Okay.
I just want people to know. I literally just want to take a minute. I love this movie, and I want to watch it, just not for this.
I was about to be like, if I was a tiebreaker, I was about to be like, Steven, pull up the trailer. I'm about to.
Anyway,
Dude, yeah,
No,
no,
it is.
trust me, you'd have to pull up the
all
trailer
right, we
for
got
this one.
Green Room.
No.
I'll say
Mm.
yes, but that's fine.
Green.
Shit, another movie I don't fucking.
Actually, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Google it again for
I
me.
don't know this movie
Okay,
either.
hold up. Let's do it as a group this time.
Jose, I swear I'm not trying to agree with you, but yeah,
Oh,
I don't know
I'm
what
out
this
here
movie
like
is
Joe
either.
Rogan podcast. James,
Wait,
pull that up.
is that Patrick Stewart? Is he in this
Oh.
movie?
That is Patrick Stewart. Yeah.
Oh no.
A punk rock band becomes trapped in a secluded venue after finding scene of violence. For what they saw, the band themselves become targets of violence from a gang of white power skinheads who want to eliminate all evidence of the crime. Thriller horror, 2015.
This shit is still loading for me, fuck.
I have to watch a movie. Dude, I don't know.
I also
I,
don't know if this.
yeah, I do want to say though. I mean, so it's a 2015 thriller horror. It's not very Halloween-esque, but it does have a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, it just like I don't know. I'm not really thinking like. I'm just thinking of if I want to watch this movie. I'm not thinking about if it's Halloween or not. Not at least not usually. But
Now I'm starting to think. Man.
Yeah, it's like as far as I'm concerned, anything on this list goes now. Personally.
honestly, I'm gonna say no. I don't think I'm not that interested, so I'm gonna say no.
I'll say no.
Yeah, I'm
saying
saying no.
That's three
Okay.
no's. Yeah, I'm not. I'm just not interested.
Look how upset Steven is, dude.
I'm not. I just haven't seen this movie and I wanted to watch it because I've heard it recommended. But
I mean, Quentin Tarantino
Um,
recommended
By the
it,
way,
but
any of the movies that are on the Halloween horror movie doc, we should put on the actual movie list as well.
I agree.
fair point. Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yep.
By the way, this is already the longest this has taken. We usually only have to re-roll once or twice.
They're gonna be like, "Why is this podcast 2.5 hours long?"
Actually,
There's a lot
I
to
don't
say
even think
about
we've hit an hour
Sherlock,
yet.
Game of Shadows.
No, we're gonna
No,
hit an hour in like 30
it
seconds.
hasn't been. We literally talked about Sherlock for like
Ghostbusters.
30 minutes.
Yes,
Ooh,
that's a good way to end. Yeah, I'll say yes.
I think
Ghostbuster.
I'm just gonna try and find it online first before I make a decision, because I
That's like
simply don't
one.
want to pay for anything.
It does not say where it's available
I
at.
think I could probably watch it
I
on.
feel like it used to be.
Hold up.
It was on Netflix before.
It's
It
not on
used
Netflix
to be on
now.
Netflix.
I just looked it up. It's not there
Yeah.
now.
I'm like, I think, yeah.
Is it not on Hulu?
Wait, is this a 2016?
No,
No,
you,
this is
you have to
1984.
the original.
Aw.
The original.
Aw.
Nathaniel, we are not watching the new one.
I know. I want the original one. The original one's the best.
It says check Hulu. Check Hulu. This is premium
It
subscription.
says
so-
only with live TV. I don't have live
Yikes.
TV.
Never mind.
Hang on. Wait. No. Wait.
Let me check Amazon Prime.
I don't think it's gonna be on Amazon.
Because that's the
I
3 I
can-
got.
It's $3 on Amazon. It's
I can
also
also
$3 on
watch it
Voodoo.
on Xfinity, so I could just stream it over that, and we don't have to pay a dime.
Oh, fair point. Wait, how long is it available for on Xfinity for though?
As he closes out of it. Hang on. Let me go back.
What the fuck does an enemy
You
skin
guys trying
called
to watch
Diabolos?
Minecraft story mode?
Yes, dude.
Finally, a movie we can all agree on.
Can you find a Bryan movie?
Wait, they put Ghost Rider on fucking Netflix?
It's available until 11:15, so we can watch it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Fucking.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, we'll just do it next week.
I'm saying yeah. I'll say yes to Ghostbusters.
Have we found where it is?
I think we found it. Wait,
Yes.
how many yeses we got?
It's on Xfinity.
Who's all saying yes? Tell me right now.
I want to hear what Jose has to say about this one.
What do you mean? Why? We
Do
can
you
just go
want
with it.
Ghostbusters or not Ghostbusters? I'm just curious.
It's okay.
So he's saying
Oh, yeah,
he didn't feel any type of way.
Yeah, I'm like,
I mean, I do think it's a very topical Halloween movie, even
I'm
though it's
gonna
not
go
necessarily. I wouldn't say it's horror.
Steven,
so-
what you saying?
with yes.
All right, that's three. That's yeses because Nathaniel and I already said yes, and Brian said yes. So that's 4. Hell yeah! All right, easy points. The movie that we are watching
It's just like I didn't want
that
that one
took
though.
so long.
I honestly
Just
know.
not add it.
I
Anyway.
know I was looking for, but I think Ghostbusters was the only exception for me to choose.
Yeah,
something
I was
else.
gonna no, literally the same thing because I said I was looking for like an actual horror movie, but Ghostbusters was the one exception because I always want to watch that movie because that
Such
movie's
a good
fucking great. Anyway, that's it. We're gonna be watching Ghostbusters next week. Catch us next Monday. Goodbye,
Peace out.
everybody.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
for rolling with us. Goodbye.
Bye. Say bye, Jose.
bye bye.